Nick and Finnick represent one of the most interesting dynamics in Zootopia because their partnership is built entirely on a shared understanding of how the world perceives them. While the film introduces them mid-hustle, the level of synchronization they show suggests a history that goes back years. It's highly unlikely they were childhood friends. Instead, their bond feels strictly professional, born out of a mutual need to survive in a city that wasn't designed for them. Nick provides the strategic mind and the charisma, while Finnick provides the versatility and the commitment to the bit. They are a classic example of a duo that found strength in numbers when the rest of society was looking down on them. Finnick's backstory is never explicitly stated, but his personality tells us everything we need to know. Despite his small stature, he has a booming deep voice and an aggressive edge that feels like a defense mechanism.
You kiss me tomorrow, I'll bite your face off.
He has likely spent his entire life being underestimated or treated like a child because of his size. In a city like Zootopia, where anyone can be anything, predators still face deep-seated prejudice, and a tiny fennec fox like Finnick probably struggled to find any legitimate path that offered him respect. Overcompensating with a tough exterior was likely his only way to keep people from walking all over him. When he met Nick, he found someone who was dealing with the exact same societal barriers. Nick was a fox who had been told from a young age that he was untrustworthy, so he leaned into that stereotype to make a living. It's easy to imagine a younger struggling Nick crossing paths with Finnick and realizing that their combined talents could create opportunities that neither could manage alone. Their jumbo pop hustle is a perfect example of this. It's a sophisticated operation that requires timing, costumes, and a deep understanding of crowd psychology. Nick plays the part of the doting, slightly overwhelmed father, while Finnick leans into the baby persona that he clearly despises.
It's just, my boy, this goofy little stinker, he loves all things elephant, wants to be one when he grows up. Is that adorable? Who the heck am I to crush his little dreams, huh? Right?
The fact that Finnick is willing to sit in a stroller, wear a diaper, and pretend to be a toddler shows just how lucrative and reliable their partnership is. He hates the act because it reinforces the very thing he fights against in his daily life, being infantilized, but he sticks with it because Nick's plans actually work. Finnick's van is much more than just a vehicle, it's essentially his sanctuary. In a city where he is constantly forced to play a part or hide his true nature, that van is the one place where he can truly be himself. It serves as the mobile headquarters for his and Nick's various hustles, but the backstory of how he acquired it says a lot about who he is. He actually stole that van from an elderly bat, and he's turned it into a rolling statement of his own identity. By blasting heavy music and driving a vehicle that looks rugged and lived in, he's shown the world that he isn't the helpless creature people assume he is. It's his way of asserting his toughness and reclaiming some of the respect he feels the world denies him. Throughout the first film, Finnick only appears 4 times, but each moment is strategically placed to show the progression of the story and his relationship with Nick. We first see him at the ice cream shop, setting the stage for the hustle. The second time is during the actual jumbo pop process, where we see the mechanical efficiency of their partnership. The third appearance is a bit more telling of their dynamic. When Judy corners Nick into helping her with the case, Finnick doesn't hesitate to mock him.
She hustled you good! You a cop now, Nick. You gonna need one of these. Have fun working with the fuzz!
It shows that even though they're partners, there is a level of blunt honesty between them. He plays a pivotal role when Judy decides to find Nick and apologize. It's Finnick who ultimately tells her where Nick is, showing that despite his tough exterior and his jokes, he actually cares about Nick's well-being and knows when his friend is hurting. Even as the story moves forward into the events of the second film, their bond remains intact, which is one of the most interesting aspects of their friendship. Nick has transitioned from a professional hustler to a police officer, but he never turned his back on Finnick. Their friendship survived that massive lifestyle shift. When Nick and Judy need to gain access to the cargoes to see what's being smuggled, they fall back on a classic tactic, pretending to be parents. Finnick once again steps into the role of the baby.
And you know the one thing this little stinker wished for, aside from one day getting his tail reattached, was to see a choo-choo.
This moment is particularly meaningful because it shows that Nick still trusts Finnick more than almost anyone else when the stakes are high. It's a great bit of character continuity. Even though Nick is now on the right side of the law, He hasn't forgotten his rough past or the person who had his back for all those years.
Toot toot.
Finnick might not get the most screen time in the franchise, but every time he shows up, he adds a layer of depth to the world. He represents the grit and the loyalty that exists in the shadows of Zootopia, and his willingness to help Nick, even when it means putting on that baby act he hates, proves that their connection goes much deeper than just making a profit.